Hey everyone, Tactics here, and with 11:07 nearly upon us, I figured I'd put out a video here, just a quick one, going over everything you need to know about the brand new ring, Circe's Circlet, including what it does, how to get the gems to empower it, and of course, how to upgrade it. First things first, what even is this ring, and is it worth getting? Well, the answer is yes, it is worth getting, and what exactly it does is it goes all the way up to 639 eye level. It does not have any secondary stats on it, as you can see, but it does have three distinct gem sockets, and these do various amounts of effects from damage, healing, secondary stats, some other stuff as well. Very similar to the Onyx Amulet from back in Dragonflight, if you played then, but it's got a bunch more of quality of life stuff baked in, and basically it's just a bit of a power boost that you can get late in the first season to help you push for whatever you are pushing towards and give you a little bit of something to help you start season 2 when that comes out early next year. Now, to actually get your hands on this ring, it is quite simple. All you need to do is the intro quest for the Siren's Isle zone, which is where I am right now, and that'll give you the 619 eye level version of this ring along with one of the actual gems as well. To upgrade it up to this 639 cap, you need to do the campaign for this new zone that has 6 different steps. Each step is going to give you an item that upgrades the eye level by either 3 or 4. So once you get all 6, this will go from 619 to 639. Currently, the campaign does appear to be weekly time gated. It means you can only do one step per week, which means 6 weeks from launch is when you'll be able to get this to 639. A little bit unfortunate. Maybe that is not the case. Maybe they change it, but that is currently what it seems like on the PTR. So keep that in mind. And if you're looking at, maybe dropping a ring right now, might not be something you do for a few weeks after launch. In terms of what upgrading this ring actually does, outside of obviously the stamina gain from the eye level, what it actually does is it increases the power of every single gem socketed into this ring. So again, if you were thinking about the Onyx Amulet from Dragonflight, in that situation, you specifically upgraded the gems and then you put them in the ring, and that affected the ring eye level. This works the opposite way. You're upgrading the ring, and then every single gem you put into the ring is now scaled to the eye level of the ring. So it's much more friendly for players that play multiple specs. You're not going to have 2 of these rings in your bag like some people did for the Onyx Amulet. So that's very, very nice. And to kind of go alongside that, actually, you can freely socket and unsocket these gems wherever you are. You don't need to go to some special machine in a certain place. Wherever you are, you can socket and unsocket this ring. So quality of life, again, like I said, much better than the amulet. All you need to do is find the rings that you want, or not the rings, sorry, the gems that you actually want to socket into them. And that's probably a good time to transition to what these gems even do. So like you can see, there's 3 different types. There's the yellow lightning gems, the blue sea gems, and the red wind gems. There's 4 of each type of gem I have right here. And then within each type of gem, they've made sure to have multiple different options, including damage, healing, secondary stats, and then a wild card one. So even if you're a spec that really, really enjoys secondaries, don't really want these extra effects, and the Onyx Amulet was not good for you, this potentially is still very, very good for you. So they're adding some additional choices to make this more attractive to every single spec, or hopefully every single spec. So let's talk about these gems here, starting with the Thunder gems. You've got the Crackling Citrine. This is the damage gem. It's just a single target zap. This is looking to be quite powerful, so I would not be surprised to see this used by a lot of people. Note for tanks and healers, all the damage effects in these gems are affected by the 30% or whatever the damage reduction is for tanks and healers, so keep that in mind. In terms of stats, this will give you 440 of every single stat, so quite a bit of overall stats there. And again, this is the base 619 number, I believe, so this goes up with the ring eye level, so it's going to be higher than 440 once it's at 639. The healing, or no, this is the wildcard effect, sorry. So the wildcard effect here is you have a chance to trigger the thunder effect of 4 nearby allies. Obviously this requires a group to test it, so I didn't really test this, but I could see this potentially being pretty good if all your allies are like running this Thunderlord's Crackling Citrine, and then you can proc this. Could potentially be interesting in group content, who knows. And then the healing one, we don't really care about that, but you have a chance to shield an ally, and then when the ally is shielded, they deal some thorns damage. So those are the Thunder Citrines. Again, I expect most people to be probably running this singing one, but if you're really into secondary stats, potentially you'll be running the secondary stat one. Next up, we have the blue ones, the C citrines. The first one, again, is the damage one. This is like a cleave one where it deals damage to a primary target and then it bounces to 2 nearby enemies. And again, this is frost damage. The previous one was nature damage. And the next one, I think, oh, it's also nature damage. So if you have amps to those damage type, potentially it is impactful here. The stat one for the blue is specifically to mastery, and in addition, all other singing citrine effects are increased based on your total mastery. So if you are a big mastery spec, potentially you can get a lot of output from your gems here by socketing this in. You already are stacking a bunch of mastery, and you can get some additional effects from your other gems, which is potentially very, very interesting. So again, trying to add in more stat scaling into this ring outside of just flat damage to make it more appealing to other people. The wild card one here grants you a bunch of stamina, increases your size, and if you're attacked above 80% health, you do some thorns damage. So potentially good for something like Prot Warrior, which has a high average health when being hit, but in general, much more niche for sure. The final one for the healing is another like AoE healing, basically the equivalent to this AoE damage, where it's going to heal someone and it's going to jump to 2 other allies and heal them as well. Finally, we've got the Wind Citrines. The last damage one here is a big AoE one. It's going to slice 5 enemies. So again, the Thunder was 1. You got 3 and 5. So this is the big AoE one. So it's the lowest number. The stat here is your highest secondary stat. So now, no matter what your best stat is, you can get more of your best stat, which is very nice. And again, potentially, if Mastery is your best stat, this is just wombo comboing a ton of Mastery onto your ring. Again, interesting potential. The random one here, your spells and abilities have a chance to cast a random singing citrine effect at 150% effectiveness. Gonna have to depend on what the proc rate is and you know the consistency of that, because obviously you're going to lose quite a bit of damage and or healing because this is not always going to proc a damage or a healing effect. A bit more random, 150% effectiveness, but when it's random like that, may not actually be ideal. I expect this one to not get much use at all. And then you have the final one here, the final healing one, which again is just kind of a copy of the damage one, where it's just healing 5 players, and it's actually a hot. Now again, because the upgrades are tied to the ring and not tied to the gems, I actually expect these gems to get quite a bit of tuning over the first couple weeks. They've actually already seen tuning, I think like yesterday or 2 days ago from the posting of this video. So I expect these to be tuned quite a bit, and it's not really going to be super impactful because you're not needing to invest in upgrading the gems specifically. You're only investing your rings, so you can kind of freely swap between them. So in terms of what is going to be best, I could not tell you right now, this moment. Again, like I've some hints, right? If you're a tank, I expect this flat damage to still be very, very good. If you love mastery, I expect this gem, maybe in combination with this, even if you really, really like mastery, to be quite good. So you know, I expect the healing ones to be not really used too often, most likely. And that's kind of the gist of it right now. Is all up in the air depending on tuning. They're being very aggressive with tuning, I would expect, in the first couple of weeks. So you will just have to keep an eye, and I will update the Guardian Druid written guide on the method site with the best ones for Guardian Druid as things change. Now, these are the gems. How do you actually get them, right? Because getting the ring and getting the gems is very different. Well, to start, the Windsinger one, which I believe is the stat one here, this one you get automatically with the ring. So the initial intro quest, you will always get this highest secondary stat ring, so you're going to have that one. From there, for all the others, it seems like it's going to be a bit RNG, and there's a few different confirmed sources from the island itself. So the first, open up the map here, you can see the rares. There is this weekly world quest, resets every 7 days. It is Tuesday when I'm recording this, so just reset. And this always is going to reward a gem, or every time I've seen it, it rewards a gem. Obviously, it's weekly. It can only be done once a week, so you only get 1 gem per week via this source. There is also a special assignment here. Once you complete that, this gives an epic cache. Now, every time I've done this, it hasn't given me a gem, but potentially it does, right? It's a pretty little sample size, just myself. So maybe this can give a gem, but personally, I have not had a gem drop from this source, only from this one in terms of the 2 weekly quests. The other main source I've had is from the command table, which is right here. This is the main town of the island. You go to this command table, you can click on this, and you can basically contribute to certain events happening, and the reward is right here. So again, these caches I have not had a gem drop from, but sometimes this reward is not a crate. It's actually just a straight up gem. So keep an eye on this board. If you see a gem, Basically, you donate the currency from this zone. I'll just do this to see it. And once it's full, you're gonna get a giant zeppelin that spawns above your head, and it's going to activate an event somewhere on the map. There it is. After 3 minutes. So after 3 minutes, this event is now going to be active. All you need to do is participate in this event that pops up. You don't need to contribute to this at all. As long as you just go over to here and you participate in this event, you will get the reward, and see the reward is even right there. So again, I've seen gems pop up here sometimes. I haven't gotten a gem from these crates, but that doesn't mean they don't drop from these crates. Keep that in mind. Now, other than this, there are a bunch of weekly crests. You can see, right, there's guys all over the place. These I have never seen give a gem as a reward. They give that currency that I just used to donate there. They give some crests, but I've never seen them drop a gem. There's also things you would expect, right? There's rares, there's treasures. Again, I've opened a bunch of treasures. I've killed a bunch of rares. I have never seen any of them drop a gem. There might be some like secret things where like guarantee a certain type of gem somewhere on the island that I haven't done, right? I haven't thoroughly explored every single thing about this island, but generally those things aren't currently, at least in my testing, giving gems. So I would hold off on maybe things like farming rares immediately unless it's confirmed that rares can actually drop gems. It's a little bit frustrating, and you're going to be kind of pretty gated, right? Like I think in the first kind of 2 weeks of doing stuff here, I only got 4 extra gems outside of the one from the initial quest. So it's a bit slow going here. Maybe it's not the biggest deal because it takes you 6 weeks, like I said, to fully get your ring to 639. Still a little bit annoying though, in my opinion. Would have been nice if there was like a vendor here. Obviously the PTR has a vendor. That's how I have all of them. But this guy, Dancing Torrent here, man, he's not going to be there on live keys. So you're going to have to be a little bit reliant on RNG here to get the actual gems you want, and I mean the gems at all. Anyways, that is it for this video though. That is everything you need to know about this ring. Yes, it's going to be good. Yes, you will want to pick it up, especially if you start doing content in this patch. Hopefully this video was useful. I know it's been a bit of a slow time in WoW right now, but with patch 11.1 coming early to the PTR, hopefully next year, I am excited to hop in there and get into that testing when it goes live. And of course, I'm going to be putting out a ton more guide content for all the season 2 stuff, so make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Otherwise, thanks to all of my amazing Patreons for making content like this possible. Have a great holiday season, and I'll see everyone in the next video.